Hey y'all, welcome to the Second of Strength podcast. My name is Tanner Clark. I went from sitting at a desk to speaking on stage internationally to inspire teenagers and people like you. My goal is simple: help you find your 1 second of strength to walk away from the things that are holding you back, to step into your potential, and ultimately find happiness. Thank you for spending your valuable seconds with me today. Let's go. What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode of the Second of Strength podcast. I was actually laying in bed a few minutes ago, and I'd had this on my heart a little bit over the last couple of days. And as I was laying there, I just thought, you know what, you got to go down. You got to go record this episode, get this off your heart. And I think that, I don't know, maybe it's for me, maybe it's for you. But just this concept of authenticity, being you, that accepting who you are and being true to yourself. And I think that we live in a world where sometimes we hide who we truly are, kind of hide in plain sight. And this episode this week is about accepting who we are, and really 4 reasons why you need to be you and why it is so critical that you do that. And, Tony Bennett, singer, he said one time, it sounds so simple, but if you just be yourself, you're different than everyone else. And I think that's it is simple. It's just such a simple concept. But it's not always easy to be us. It's not always easy to just accept who we are, be true to who we are. Sometimes there's peer pressure. Sometimes we feel like we need to be somebody else to fit in. But I think that if you're always trying to be someone else to fit in, I think that you're kind of excluding yourself. You're kind of kicking yourself out, right? Because if we're not us and we're not who we believe we are, and if we're not being accepting of who we are, then kind of what's the point, right? And someday I think that we'll struggle with that. And so there's 4 reasons why you need to be you, why it's time to accept who you are, why you have to do it. And the first one is to like yourself. Rita Mae Brown said one time, I think the reward for conformity, or the reward for, being like everyone else, is that everyone likes you except yourself. And I read that quote the other day and it just hit me. And as I think back on my life, I think back on the times where maybe I was trying to fit in when I was younger, as a teenager, trying to be part of the crowd, doing things and trying to be somebody maybe that I wasn't. I think that that's the end result, is you kind of look in the mirror one day and you realize, this isn't me. This isn't what I want. This isn't who I'm supposed to be. And we have to come to this realization that if we don't accept who we are, other people might accept us. Other people might look at us. Other people might bring us into their crew or into their crowd or into their friend group. But at the end of the day, is that okay? Is that who we really want to be? Is that what we want? And I don't think it is, because when we're not true to ourselves, how can we possibly be true to other people? And I think that sounds so simple, but it's like, if we are being fake to ourselves, sooner or later, people are going to realize that we're not being our true selves to them, because I think that there's this authenticity of it. Because I think what happens is, when we are the true version of ourselves, we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and authentic. And when we do that, we are able to connect and relate to other people. And I think the reason is because when we are authentic, when we are vulnerable, it's then actually our spirit connecting with their spirit. And that's what creates this bond and this linkage. That's when people become your people. It's because you have literally talked your spirit to their spirit, and you have made this emotional, raw connection. And what happens is, when we are not being our true authentic selves, we don't allow that connection to happen. And so there's always a gap. There's always something missing in between that. So the first thing is, we need to be true to ourselves so that we like ourselves. Because I've said this before, if you listen to the podcast, you are the one person you get to spend all your time with. You better like yourself. And I think sometimes we don't. And it's because we're not being true to ourselves, and we're not allowing that true authenticity to drive. And when we do, when we do allow that authenticity to happen, our people will gravitate towards us. We're always trying to fit into the crowd, but sometimes the crowd is what we need to step out of to be with the people that we're supposed to be with. Because when we're with people and not being true, we are missing out on the opportunity to be with the people that are really our people. And so that is the number one reason why you have to be you. The second one is it's how you grow. It's how you grow and how you ultimately are happiest. And I just mentioned a couple minutes ago that it's accepting yourself, but it also is what allows you to grow. Because when we are ourselves, it also means that we are accepting of our flaws and we are accepting of all of the beautiful imperfections that are on our lives. And when we are accepting of those things, it's how we actually know and learn how to grow. It's how we actually it's actually the strongest foothold that we can step on to step into our potential and step into the person that we want to become. And accepting our flaws doesn't mean that we're perfect, but it is what makes us flawless. And I hope you realize that. I hope you realize that true acceptance of who you are, all your beautiful imperfections, is what actually makes you flawless, because that alone will set you apart from other people. Accepting who you are, becoming flawless, knowing that you have imperfections. And guess what? Everybody has imperfections, and all of these insecurities that you might be dealing with. And you might look at yourself and go, man, I've got this flaw, I've got that flaw, or whatever. And you think that sometimes other people are judging you and looking at you because of those things. Nobody is. And everybody else has flaws as well. So I think that's one critical thing that we have to realize, is that one, everybody's got these imperfections. Two, accepting our flaws is what makes us flawless. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you unique. So that's the second thing, is that it is truly how you grow, because it is the foothold that you step on to overcome all of your challenges, overcome the things that you're facing, to step into your potential and become the person that you can become. And so that is the second reason that you need to be you. The third reason is your uniqueness, those little quirks, those little insecurities, those little things, those little quirky things that make you different and unique. That is what this world needs. That is exactly what this world needs. And I think, when you really break it down, there are 8 billion people in this world, and there is one of you. And that makes you pretty dang special. It makes you unique. It makes you important. And the way I look at it is, if you have a puzzle, I've always done puzzles with the family, or maybe you're a puzzle person, but if you have a puzzle, 1,000-piece puzzle, or in this case, an 8 billion-piece puzzle, you put a puzzle out, right? There's 1,000 pieces of this puzzle. And you get down to the very last one, right? You start with the corners, you work your way in, you get down to that very last puzzle piece. There's only one puzzle piece that is going to fit in that spot. There is no other piece in the entire world that is going to fit there. But it is the one thing that's going to complete that puzzle. And that, my friend, is you. That is your uniqueness. That is your superpower. That is what makes you so fabulous, is that you are the one puzzle piece that's needed in this world to complete it, because you're one of 8 billion people. And when you look around at all the other people, right? And everyone's unique, and everybody's got their things, their quirks, their beautiful imperfections, and all these things. When you look at that, and you look at yourself, and you put it all together, that is what makes this world work. That is what makes this place so amazing, is that everybody is so different, and nobody has the same path, and nobody has the same dreams, and nobody has anything the same. Yet it all works together like a beautiful puzzle piece. And that is the third reason that you need to be accepting of who you are, that you need to be authentic, that you need to be you, is because your uniqueness is needed. And I always say this, but you are the one person that somebody else needs in their life right now. Not you pretending to be somebody else, not you trying to become something that you're not you trying to fit into a certain mold because you think that's what's accepted, but you just as you are is what somebody else needs to make it through the challenge that they're facing right now. and you're the only one that can help them. And so you have to embrace who you are. And sometimes that's hard to do. Sometimes it's hard to embrace who we are because we do have hurdles and challenges and struggles and things that we're facing. But when you embrace who you are, you actually step into the opportunity to help somebody else make it through the challenge that they're facing. And only you can do that because you are the missing puzzle piece in somebody else's life. And I hope you realize that. I hope you realize how important you are and why you are so important on this earth, why you have to be here, why you have to stay here, why you cannot leave this place. Because somebody needs you right now to help them. Somebody needs you to save them. Somebody needs you because of you. Man, you're so important. I hope you know that. I hope you know how important you are and why you're so valuable to everybody. Because you're so unique. You are the puzzle piece. You are the missing piece in somebody else's life. And of all the 8 billion people in the world, you are the only one. You are the only one. It makes you so important. The fourth reason is because it's how you find your people. It's how you find your people. And you have to realize that when you accept your true self, you'll also recognize that some people are not for you. When you accept your true self, you'll realize that some people aren't the right people for your life. And sometimes we try and be someone else, or we're trying to fit in these crowds. But when we do that, we're actually surrounding ourselves with people that may not have our best interests in heart. We may be surrounding ourselves with people that may not care about us or care about our path or care about our progress. But when we step back and we are authentically ourselves and we are accepting of us, and you decide that you are going to be you, your people will start to gravitate towards you and your truthfulness and your authenticity. And you will start to find people and surround yourself in your life with people that are going to help you grow, help you succeed, help you be happier, help you smile more. And those people are your ride or dies. Those people are the people that you cannot get rid of. And you might be sitting there going, yeah, but I don't have those people in my life. But I promise you will. I promise you will find those people when you are true to yourself and authentically you. Because right now there is somebody, just like I talked about the puzzle piece, just like you are the right person for somebody else's puzzle, somebody is the right person for your puzzle. And that person is waiting to come into your life. And you have to accept yourself to allow them in. You have to accept yourself to be vulnerable enough to allow that person to step into your life. You have to be accepting of yourself and be authentic so that that person can find you. And they will find you. And it might be a friend. It might be, a boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse. Somebody's coming into your life because they're the missing puzzle piece in your life. But just like a puzzle can't fit, you can't take, a puzzle of a mountain and try and fit it into a desert. You can't take some untrue, not authentic puzzle piece and try and fit it into your puzzle. The only way it works is when you decide that you are your true and authentic self. You decide that you are going to be you. And you have to do it despite what people think, because that is the key to happiness. Other people might judge you. Other people might have opinions of you. And all of that's great. But it doesn't matter. Because what matters is that you accept you for you. Because that is where true happiness is. And that's where you deserve. You deserve happiness. You deserve to smile. You deserve to be loved. You're worthy of it. You deserve it. And sometimes we don't feel that. But I promise you, you do. You deserve all of it. And you don't have to fit into a certain mold to be worthy of it. You don't have to fit a certain prototype to be worthy of other people's love. I always say that your people will love you regardless. Regardless of your imperfections, regardless of anything going on in your life, your people will love you for you. That's what makes them your people. And you don't have to fight for that. You don't have to pay for their love. You don't have to, put deposits in or anything like that. They're going to love you for you because it's who you are. It's unconditional. Your people will love you unconditionally. You have to work for it. They're just going to love you. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work for it. You should love them back, right? You should be a good person. But your people are going to love you. And that's one key, that's one clue that will tell you that somebody's not your people. If you're constantly having to work or, do favors or give service or do things for people so that they in turn will love you, that's not your person. That's not your person. Your person's going to love you for you. They're going to love you unconditionally, It's like a mom or a dad, right? Your mom or dad loves you unconditionally. It doesn't matter, they'll be grateful if you clean your room, and they'll be grateful if you unload the dishes, but that's not what makes them love you. They love you just unconditionally. From the moment they hold you in your arms, they love you. And your people are going to love you just the same. They're going to love you. They're going to love you that you're around. They're going to love every aspect of you because you're you. And so when you accept you for you, you'll start to love yourself more as well. Because just like I started with this quote from Rita Mae Brown, she said, "I think the reward for conformity is that everyone likes you except yourself." It's time to stop conforming. It's time to stop fitting into a mold so that you can be liked by other people, but dislike yourself. It's time to like yourself and stop trying to fit into their mold. Because you deserve it. That's it. And I think as I think of, sitting upstairs right before I recorded this and going, man, why, it's 11:30 at night. I'd rather go to bed. Lots going on tomorrow. But I thought you needed to hear this. I thought you needed to know how important you are. I thought you needed to know that you are just an incredible person who deserves the world. An incredible person that deserves to be loved by other people. But most importantly, you're an incredible person that deserves to be loved by yourself. Because you, just the way you are, is enough. Thanks for listening tonight. Thanks for bearing with my sleepy voice, my 11:45 now voice. But and thanks for all of those who have shared episodes and shared them with people that you love to try and help them. And if this episode helped you, just share it. Share it on your Instagram. Tag me at Real Tanner Clark. But I know that there's somebody out there that that might need this message tonight. They might need to understand that they can be themselves and understand that they can love themselves a little bit more. So share it. Let's help people. I truly believe that together we can change this world, and I'm just grateful for you. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it helped you. If you haven't already, hit subscribe so you never miss another episode, and leave a review for the show. And as always, go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.